let's be honest, guys, 2025 wasn't the best year for Real Madrid, and this season has been just a continuation of last season as well. So in 2026, I have compiled 4 crucial changes that Real Madrid needs to implement in order to improve and stop being cheeks. Let's get straight into it. I'm sure you have seen that Endrick has finally got the loan move to Olympique Lyon. He is going to be the new Liga striker for them. And of course, it's a 50% pay cut. And I'm happy for him, okay? I am happy for Endrick, even though I think I would have kept him at Real Madrid. I just like his qualities. And I do think that he is a better talent than Gonzalo Garcia. But of course, Xabi Alonso doesn't seem to think the same. But I think with this player, the issue is that we have a player management issue. And I think that needs to be changed. And Endrick is not the only victim. There is many players in this squad that are basically being misjudged by the manager, the club, and that are being misused, in my opinion. And some of them are being overused as well, because our injury list is getting to a mad point right now. There is basically everybody in the squad has been injured for at least 2 games since the start of 2025. And the new season has not been any better. Militao, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Huijsen, even Mbappe, Vinicius was injured, Rodrigo was injured. The biggest players, Valverde, Trent has been injured so much. And I do think that it's a part of being a manager and managing your players better. It's not even Alonso's fault, all of this. Of course, he has a part to play in it, but the medical team has to do better, in my opinion. The staff has to do better. We have to manage our players better. And with Endrick, it's of course not an issue with injuries, but I think he was a bit like pushed out of the club, like essentially, but because I think Endrick was so unlucky to not get a chance in the Club World Cup. Of course, Gonzalo got his chance because Mbappe was injured, but unfortunately, Endrick got injured as well. I don't think that's a reason to not play him at all in all of these games. And that's been the issue, for example, for Gonzalo Garcia as well. He has been the opposite, actually. He got the chance in the Club World Cup, but when he gets a chance for Real Madrid this season, it's usually for a game in Copa del Rey where he doesn't have service, where Trent doesn't play, which basically was the partnership in the Club World Cup, or he gets like 5 minutes. So I don't think they are getting fair enough chances, but that's just the 2 strikers here. If you want to talk about more and about other players, this is the main culprit of it. This is the advertisement of players being misused. He literally was a meme last season for Carlo Ancelotti, and even the season before, because this guy could play anywhere. Left back, 6, 8, right mid this season. But once again, he comes back from injury and we play him 90 minutes, he gets injured. Please manage this guy better. And this goes for Trent Alexander as well. Trent finally came back and he had some good games, off the bench. But then again, we played him 90 minutes. Oh, bro, of course they are going to get injured. You have to manage these players better. This is why it's such an issue with the player management. Some people are being misused. Some people are being underused. And Camavinga, in my opinion, is overused. And people could say, but he's never playing. He's always injured. That's my point. You have to play him less after he comes back, or he's never going to fully recover. I genuinely think, leave him on the bench for 4 months out injured. That's what he needs, actually. And the medical team, something has to change there. Because there is no way almost every single player is getting injured in this team. I know we could be unlucky, but 2 seasons in a row, last season it was the same. Rudiger got an injury, Jude Bellingham with the shoulder injury as well. He didn't get the surgery. Tchouaméni was injured, Ceballos was balling out, then he gets injured as well. I think this couldn't be on the players. This must be on the player management. It's getting to a point where I genuinely think we must buy more players in January. Is that going to happen? I don't think so. So that's actually going to be my next point. I think we need to change our transfer strategy. This gimmick of Real Madrid not buying players when we win everything that year and not strengthening the squad, not actually replacing the players that we need to replace, needs to change. That is one of the biggest changes I think I can think about, because Cruz hasn't been replaced. And people will say, you cannot replace Cruz. I always say this, but you can get a similar player to him. Okay, now you could say we invested in other areas. Of course, we needed left back, right back, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alvaro Carreras. We strengthened the defense with Dean Huijsen, and we, of course, brought a new talent in Franco Mastantuono. Last season, of course, it was Kylian Mbappe. But once again, we brought in on a free Kylian Mbappe, and I get that completely. Of course, he got a huge signing bonus either way. But bro, there was no replacement for Joselu, who is a complete number 9. He's a number 9. He's a poacher. He can get on the crosses and a control in midfield, which is Toni Kroos. And I'm not saying, brother, get me Vitinha, get me this guy. No, bring in a young player that can, you know, develop into something. But we have so many midfielders and nobody fits the profile of Toni Kroos. Last season we tried the gimmick of Fede Valverde slotting in as a like a deep lying playmaker. He moved up the pitch so quickly. The gimmick was done in November. Genuinely, Tchouaméni is not that player. He cannot play out of the back. And Camavinga is more of a progressive midfielder than a progressive passer, if you know what I mean. He likes to progress with the ball in his feet and then maybe get it out or maybe beat one or two players, of course, and start the attack himself like this. I think we should have spent more on a midfielder, genuinely, or we should have kept some of the academy players, which is, for example, Schema. Schema, of course, went to Stuttgart with Angelo Stiller, who I would have liked as well, but get me somebody that can slot in and maybe develop into a deep-lying playmaker. Or spend in January, because this is another point of mine. Florentino Perez and January transfer windows is a big no-no. We know this, of course. I didn't expect to buy anything. But when it, you know, slowly is coming to January, I always think, Florentino, please sign someone. Please. We are actually struggling, you know. This team is not doing well in the league at all. And in the Champions League, we have been getting beaten down by Premier League teams as well. But this guy basically came out, or the reports have came out, that we are once again not signing anyone. And if it would be a signing, it would maybe be bringing down somebody from an academy. Bringing it up, of course. So, I just think it's a huge problem of the scouting being wrong. Completely. Do I think Dean Huijsen and Alvaro Carreras are good signings? Yes. But did we really need Franco this season? I genuinely don't think Franco had to come this season. I think 1 year in the Argentinian league or send him out on loan instead of Nico Paz. Nico Paz had way more experience with Madrid. Why did we let him go to Como? We should have brought him back, and once again, at the end of the season, we will bring him back, in my opinion. And once again, guys, it's gonna be a misplace. Where is he gonna play? Where is Arda gonna play? See, Arda is another culprit of this. Arda played one of the best 2 months in his career in the number 10 position at the start of the season. But once again, Xabi Alonso is trying something different. He is trying to melt him into the 8th position or a deep lying playmaker, which is between a 6 or an 8. But Arda Güler is struggling. He's struggling from the point on that he started playing as a number 6 or as a deeper midfielder, you could say. He's been struggling a lot because that final pass is suddenly not on Arda Güler. He is basically controlling the defense and the midfielders or the attack. But he, in my opinion, is the best player in this team that connects the midfield and the striker. He is the final piece between the attack, between the wingers and the midfield and the striker. That's his position, in my opinion. I don't know why we are trying to melt him into something that he isn't. I genuinely think that we should focus on bringing Jude back as an 8, because that's his best position, in my opinion. If we don't do this, we must bench Arda Güler. Jude is either going to be a 10 that is a box crasher. Let's be honest, guys. He is going to score you goals. But Arda Güler and Jude Bellingham as a 10, they don't offer much together, in my opinion. Jude Bellingham offers so much alone, and Arda Güler offers so much alone as a 10. But I think they could work as Arda Güler up the pitch and Jude Bellingham slightly deeper as an 8. Once again, it comes down to our transfer strategy, the scouting, and once again, I'm getting back to it, player management. So I think these two changes are really, really the most crucial changes. But that is another issue, I think, with the fans and the manager and the players as well, which I think it's toxicity around the club. And I'm gonna bring up the biggest one this season, of course. Vinicius Jr. Of course, this season has just been a roller coaster, and I think majority of Real Madrid's fan base is done with Vinicius Jr. Once again, this guy doesn't do him any justice. He doesn't help himself at all. Now, 3 days ago, Vinicius Jr. changes his Real Madrid profile picture to an image with Brazil's shirt on Instagram. This guy had the Madrid picture there for the last 5-7 years, genuinely. Now he just changed it after getting booed by the Real Madrid fans in the match against Sevilla. I think it's childish, bro. Vinicius Jr., I genuinely think you are childish. This is childish behavior. And I'm not saying if you played well, if you carried the team, you know, at least if you were scoring goals. But this brother hasn't scored in like 16 games. He cannot be consistent for 90 minutes. He fluctuates in the span of 30 minutes as well. He's completely bad. He's completely bad at the start of the game. Then he gives you 1 to 2 dribblings, and then he returns to Vinny from last season, which does nothing. He completely offers nothing to this team, and it brings toxic energy to the club, to the fans, to the manager. Look at Xabi Alonso, for example. From the point he subbed him off against Barcelona, it has completely started this gimmick of the players don't like Xabi Alonso. Vinicius Jr. and Xabi Alonso cannot work together. Until Xabi Alonso leaves, Vinicius Jr. is not going to sign another contract. See, and Vinicius Jr. is not getting this contract. Vinicius Jr. getting booed by the fans. The players are like overreacting at Xabi's, you know, coaching system. And this has all started just because Xabi Alonso subbed him off and he did the tantrum. But the fans are a culprit of this, like, as well, because one portion of Madrid fans is the Vinny Glazers. Then we have the casuals, you know, the people that love Vinny too much. And then I think we have the middle ground that respect Vinny but say that he's doing too much. But the Vinny Glazers are still on the train of, but we have to respect him. The last 2 UCLs, he was the main guy with Benzema, and the last one, of course, he scored the goal against Dortmund, and he was the best against Bayern. My guy, Vinny Glazers, you have to be honest. Vinicius Jr. has not been that good for at least 13 months now. Last season, the first 4 to 5 months, he was the best player at this club. Mbappe was stinking up the place. But then, Ballon d'Or happens. The game against Valencia where he got racially abused, of course, got the red card. I mean, he got so much on his plate. I get it. Bro, this is Real Madrid, this is football. Of course, Spanish football, the fans are just stupid, honestly, man. But Vinicius Jr., you have to get over it and, I don't know, give him 6 months. Give him until the end of the season. I get it. You know, you lost the Ballon d'Or. It's tough. But you have a Ballon d'Or season last year. And now you give us this. The next season starts. It's the Brazil World Cup year. 2026 is the World Cup. And you give us these performances and these antics. I just don't get it. And that's where the casuals come in. That's where the casuals come in. Once again, if Real Madrid plays completely cheeks, but we still win, there we go. My Hala Madrid, my heart, oh my goodness, the Twitter comments under Real Madrid's post when we won 2-0 against Sevilla. Best club, Hala Madrid, generational team. What am I saying? What am I seeing? Actually, what am I seeing? Are these people joking? Is this like a joke? You know, ha ha ha. What is this? And it once again brings toxicity to the whole club, because then you have the middle ground, or the people that are like me, for example, or Matrix, if you know football Matrix. I think the guys on Chaos that actually see the light. We see the real Real Madrid of what is happening, because, guys, let's be honest, this team has been nothing shorter than of an embarrassment this season. It's actually embarrassing how bad we did after we lost to Atletico Madrid and then we beat Barcelona. After that point, we have been looking like nothing. We have been looking like complete and utter disappointment to everybody at this club, the staff, the manager, and the fans. Like a complete disappointment, especially the game which finished this year, Sevilla. And I'm thinking, okay, let's finish this year on a high. We played completely trash. We were awful in that game. People like Huijsen were moving like they've never seen a football. And Vinicius Jr. comes off after an okay game, in my opinion, and the fans boo him off the pitch. Just make it make sense. You got one game, we play completely cheeks football, and they cheer everybody like they played the best game of all time. And when Vinicius finally has a good game, they boo him. But just make it make sense, bro. This fan base has, it just has too many variables, and I think that needs to change, bro. And especially if Vinicius continues with these antics, he has to go. He has to go. And that is my final point. Vinicius Jr. or Kylian Mbappe, Real Madrid, you have to choose, and this is why. It's just not gonna work. Guys, I'm over it. I'm over it. People are saying put Vini right wing, put Mbappe left wing, try them as a top two, try them in a 4-1-2-1-2, try them in a 3-5-2 as a... I just don't care anymore. Don't change the system. By the way, that's another problem, but I'm not gonna get into it too much. But we have to choose an identity and a system that we stick to. And that is not gonna happen if we keep doing this Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. talk. There is just so much inconsistency in the way how we set up and how we play. One game, Kylian Mbappe is drifting to the left. One game, he's drifting to the right. One game, he's dropping deep. Then he's running in behind with Arda Güler behind him. I just don't get it. Vinicius Jr., the same for you. One game, you are defending for the team. One game, you just stand on the pitch and do nothing. One game, you completely cook your winger and then miss out completely. The game where he ghosts is happening too often. Then the next game, he finally plays without Mbappe against Manchester City on that left side, and Rodrigo outperforms him. It's just not gonna work with these two. It's not gonna work. Guys, it's so apparent. And this is bringing down the whole team, mentality and the system as well. We need to choose a system. Is it gonna be a 4-3-3? Is it gonna be a 4-2-3-1? Is it gonna be a 3-back? Choose a system, because we have played around 17 different lineups in the last 20 matches, including Cups and the Champions League, La Liga. How are we meant to actually build around someone and build, you know, the habits of you have to be here, you have to run here, you have to cover for this guy? It's not gonna happen if we keep changing the formation to fit these guys in, and fit Rodrigo in, and fit Arda Güler in. It's always about Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe every single game. Who is going to outperform who? Where is Mbappe going to play? Is Vinicius Jr. going to get benched? This needs to stop. So, in my opinion, Vinicius Jr. has to leave. I don't care what happens in the next 6 months, because it cannot just erase this problem. Xabi Alonso would have to pick a system where both of these work, and I think he has tried everything. Even Carlo Ancelotti has tried everything. I just don't think they work together. Or I just think we could do much better. I think we could just get a striker and put Mbappe on the left. And people are going to be in the comments, but Vinny does this and Vinny does this. What if it doesn't work? I don't care. I'm willing to take the risk, because Vinicius Jr. brings nothing to my club right now. He brings nothing to my club. And just look at the start of the season. Rodrigo was meant to leave just because of Vinicius. He was keeping out Rodrigo, but still playing like a complete donkey. And when he got benched, Rodrigo didn't perform. And once again, another toxic, you know, another Rodrigo couldn't lace up the shoes Vinicius does. Next game, Vinicius drops a stinker. And Mbappe, if Mbappe plays bad, oh my goodness. If Mbappe plays bad, it's once again. If Mbappe didn't join Real Madrid, this and this and this and if. You are waffling. He's literally carrying this team. Mbappe is carrying this team by himself. So this is why, this is my last point. Vinicius Jr., you have to choose. Either you sacrifice something from your game and work more for the team and work for Mbappe, change the position you play or something. You have to change something. Just work it out with Xabi Alonso, or you have to leave at this end of the season. You have to leave, because your contract is not happening, and we know this. You are not getting 30 million. So either choose. Be a man and start playing like the player you were. Work for the team, get better, or stay like this, be toxic, and you leave Real Madrid. And that is the 4 changes that have to be made. Player management, something about the scouting, the transfers, the strategy of this club has to change as well. And then, of course, it's the antics, the toxicity, Vinicius Jr. versus Kylian Mbappe. I think these are the biggest changes that we have to make. Of course, there are smaller changes like, you know, the tactics and Xabi Alonso set pieces and this and that. But I think these are the main culprits of Real Madrid's disappointing season. If you agree with me, of course, let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Of course, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Peace out.